Hi there, my name is Jeff Deck, and I'm a professor in the Department of Biology and Chemistry at Nipissing. I've always been interested in biology ever since I was young. I've been fascinated by the world out of doors, and it was really that interest that drove me to study biology in high school and eventually at Nipissing University as an undergraduate student here from 1993 to 1997. I went on to study elsewhere. My training is in ecology and specifically forest ecology. And really my whole life I've wanted to spend time in the forest and better understand how it works, and developed a real concern just about our environment in general and how forests are managed in Canada and around the world and how they're affected by things like climate change and loss of biodiversity. So that thread has always been something that's driven me in my career, and it's something that I study here at Nipissing as a professor to this day. Students in the biology program here at Nipissing study the diversity of life. We study the form and function of organisms. We ask questions about the nature of diseases or the consequences of climate change and the loss of biodiversity. We do this in the lab, focused on practical exercises, and we do it in our lectures, considering some of the theories behind how we understand how nature, and particularly living things, function on the planet. We consider natural selection as a driving force in how it influences all the living things on the planet and how they respond to stresses and disturbances. In the Environmental Biology and Technology program here at Nipissing, our students spend their second year focused on the development of practical skills. In a partnership with Canada College, students take courses to develop both field and laboratory skills. As part of this program, students can also earn an Environmental Protection and Compliance Diploma from Canada College. It provides an excellent opportunity for students to combine an interest in the theoretical aspects of biology with some extra emphasis on practical skill development. At the end of the Environmental Biology and Technology four-year program, students leave with both a degree from Nipissing University and a diploma in Environmental Protection and Compliance from Canada College, which is an excellent opportunity to combine practical skills as well as an emphasis on the theory behind your interests in biology. So in first year, our plan is to give you the building blocks that you need to progress into our upper level courses. So all of our students take a course in molecular and cellular biology and another course in organismal and evolutionary biology. And those two courses really pave the way for all of our upper year biology courses. We also, as biologists, place a lot of emphasis on chemistry, so students take two fundamentals of chemistry courses in their first year, and in addition to that, students take a mathematics course. And with that broad base of courses, you're really prepared to pursue your interests in biology in a variety of different directions that are available to you in your second, your third, and eventually your fourth year. In addition to the biology and chemistry building blocks that are so important in first year, environmental biology and technology students also take an Introduction to Environmental Science course, and this course really provides some extra background and exposure specifically to environmental science and some of the theories and techniques that are applicable to that particular degree. I think the best part of our program is a focus on individual attention to students, especially what we provide in laboratories, and eventually as they get into fourth year, we develop into individualized study experiences. So in many of our courses, we offer laboratory sessions that are hands-on, focused on skill development, where students are using state-of-the-art equipment to learn different techniques. We often spend time on the incredible forest that we have on the back of our campus, where our students are going out into the field and learning techniques specific to areas of study like aquatic biology, forestry, etc. Ultimately, what this sets up for us is that in your fourth year, you are ready and able to participate in our individualized study courses, and we have three really important opportunities. The first is thesis, where students actually do research projects under the supervision of a faculty member. Every year we have many students who take this opportunity. Our students go to conferences and present this work and sometimes publish this work in scientific journals. A second opportunity is what we call our field camps. And these field camps often involve travel. So sometimes we hold field camp in Grossmore National Park in Newfoundland. Other times we've had students who travel as far as the Galapagos Islands with experiential field courses. And finally, we're very proud of the internship opportunity that we've created in our department, where at the fourth year level, students can work with a community partner and basically do a placement with that partner and develop through some skill-based learning in a real practical location. I think that my favorite part of being a professor is the opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. And this is something I'm able to achieve both through teaching and through research. The courses that I teach often explore ideas and skill development related to environmental science, forestry, biodiversity, and conservation, all important issues for our society. And so in my teaching, I think it's very rewarding to inspire students to pursue careers in these areas and for them to make contributions when they leave Nipissing University that ultimately help us to solve problems that we have related to things like climate change and loss of biodiversity. It's really important for me as a professor also to inspire some students to pursue research. And so in our thesis program, I supervise students regularly, and together the students and I will come up with interesting projects that address specific research questions that are important that we think will help improve things like management of forests in Ontario, or help us to deal with issues related to invasive species, etc. So as an example of some of our successful internships, many of our students have worked in doctor's office, veterinary offices, they've worked at the hospital, they've worked in forest management companies or with conservation authorities. These are all partnerships that are put together between the student and a faculty supervisor and a supervisor at the place where the internships occurs. And we really think that this is a positive thing for our students because they get to have a glimpse of how they can essentially display their knowledge and their skills in a way that benefits others in a workplace. And so this is an exciting outcome that we see for our students when they get to the fourth year level. So I think really a large part of how we help students achieve their goals is just about getting to know them. And then basically pointing them in opportunities or in the direction of opportunities that will help them to achieve those goals. You know, Nipissing is a university where your professors are the ones who write your reference letters when you apply to jobs, when you apply to graduate schools or professional schools when you leave. And this, I think, is a testament to the fact that we get to know our students and support them in the pursuit of their goals when they leave Nipissing. It's important to us that all our students have an opportunity to succeed and really pursue their goals to the maximum of their potential. Our program really emphasizes hands-on learning. Laboratory sessions are critical to the achievement of all of our courses in terms of what we would like you to take away from them. So we emphasize development of practical skills in addition to the theory that you get from lectures. So right from first year, you get exposed to a variety of different techniques in both our molecular and cellular biology course and our evolutionary and organismal biology course. And then it kind of broadens out from there. Our second year courses, like principles of ecology and genetics, also include very thorough laboratory sessions, in addition to many other of our courses in the upper years. We expose students to learning how to use equipment properly. We teach students how to essentially complete procedures in the laboratory with a high degree of skill and attention to safety. These are really important things for us. Many of our courses involve field work, and so we are constantly taking students out into the field and demonstrating practical hands-on skills. Things as simple as identifying plants or species of birds, for example, to more complicated things like collecting soil samples and conducting basic chemical tests on those soils are some examples of the field-driven environmental kind of work that we do. But in addition to that, we have whole courses in molecular biology techniques, for example, which are essentially meant to provide students with an opportunity to really explore and develop their skills in the area of molecular biology if they're interested in the finer scale aspects of biology. And of course, we have many actual courses in our catalog that are applied in nature. On the health science side, things like immunology, for example. On the environmental side, we have courses that allow students to actually pursue a certificate in forest resources management and conservation. So there's a strong depth of application in our approach to what we do as well. My favorite course to teach is conservation biology. I find it fascinating because it allows us to bring together our knowledge of the fundamentals of biology, the diversity of life on this planet, how it's organized into communities and ecosystems, and how the function of those systems is affected by human activity. In addition to that, we also look at some of the human aspects of conservation biology, how culture influences our perception of the environment, how policy is constructed, and some of the social aspects that affect that. And when you bring those things together all into one course, it really is a fascinating thing. And students really respond to this, I think, and are excited about the possibility of studying something like conservation because they can apply their knowledge of biology and see how that can really be harnessed to make a difference in the world. And that's why conservation biology is my favorite course to teach. There really is a variety of careers that are possible when you come through our program, whether you're more interested in the molecular biology and cellular biology, leading to things like medicine, etc., or you're more interested in the environmental aspects of biology. And then that leads you to things like forestry, fisheries management, working as research scientists. Many of our students go on to graduate schools studying a variety of different research topics. And we think that our thesis program really prepares them well for that type of experience. It's hard for me to pick just one particular spot on campus that's special to me. Obviously, being a forest ecologist, the area behind our campus with our large trail network and a really nice example of a central Ontario forest is a special place to me. Particularly, I take students there in some of my classes, and I can think of even some specific locations within that forest that I think are really spectacular. From the rocky outcrops with shrubby oaks on them, to the nice stands of majestic maples, to even a cedar swamp on our campus that has examples of carnivorous plants like pitcher's plants and sundews. So really, for me, the campus forest behind the university is a spectacular resource, and it's by far my favorite aspect of being in this place. Living in North Bay, for someone like me, is really wonderful because we're surrounded by natural areas that are interesting and beautiful in their own right. And it's hard for me to pick any one particular location, but there are some that really, I think, are special. And one of them is Laurier Woods, which is a wetland complex right within the city of North Bay with a great variety of diversity that has been protected and is accessible and is really a nice place to go for a hike or to go bird watching or just observe nature. I also really like to walk along the waterfront, especially the natural part of the waterfront, where we have trails that actually go through sandy areas that have coastal dune plants on them. Aside from that, there are many parks and natural areas around the city that are really spectacular, and one of my favorite ones is the Whitfield Forest, which is home to an old growth maple forest. So there's a variety of amazing opportunities around North Bay for those who are attracted to natural areas, and those are some of my favorites.